Hello, welcome everyone. I am Zamir Sheikh, Faculty of Chemistry from Sri Shivaji College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Akola. Today I am going to discuss uh, one of the renowned topic in organic chemistry, or we can say the topic in general organic chemistry, that is an isomerism in organic molecules. So before proceeding to this isomerism in organic molecules, so first of all, an isomerism is nothing but the a same molecule behave differently or show the structure, so we can call the structurally they are different. Okay, so the arrangement is different, but everything is what the same, and due to that, so it show some distinct properties in that, and that's why we have so many lots of applications of that isomerism in this compound. So we'll start from the starting from that. So what is the introductive part of that isomerism? So now in this slide, so what exactly the mean of isomerism? And isomers, or iso means what? They're similar, and mers means not the parts, they have same something is similar, okay, but the arrangement in that, or the constituent arrangement is what the quite different, and basically that the phenomena is called the isomerism. The isomers are the compounds with the same qualitative and quantitative composition of the elements. Everything is same, okay. For example, C4H10O, okay. So basically what the molecular formula is same, the number of carbon, number of hydrogen, number of oxygen are equivalent. If you find the many structures for the same C4H10O, you always you get the same number of carbon, same number of hydrogen, same number of oxygen, okay, but they are structurally different, okay. So there is a same qualitative and quantitative composition of the elements, therefore their relative molecular weights and general formulas are always identical, but their structures or including the three-dimensional arrangement is different, okay. This is the main thing in what the isomers or isomers. The compounds, for example, we have what propyl chloride and propane, okay, C3H6 and C2H5, C3H8 is a propane, and C3H7Cl is a propyl chloride. They are not isomer. Why? Because in both the cases the molecular formula is different, that's why they are not the isomers, okay. Basically their qualitative compositions, okay, of the elements are different, that's why they cannot be called as a isomer. However, the compounds, for example butane, that is in C4H10, and with their isomers, basically isobutane, N-butane, these are isomer. Why? Because of their butane is in what the same qualitative compositions of the elements are present, but the structurally they are different, okay. Since they are the general formula is the same, but the three-dimensional arrangement of the elements, okay, in that there is a different, okay. For example, and we have what methane, okay, it's a single compound, they don't show any kind of what isomers, that's why it is always a single molecule. While the pentane, okay, has three different isomer. One is a linear, okay, there are three different isomers of the pentane, and another example where we have saturated hydrocarbon, for example with 40 carbons, have more than 62 trillion isomers, okay. So methane shows only one, pentane shows three isomers, and if you take the compound saturated or linear saturated hydrocarbon, that is we have what the same structure, that is 40 carbon, having 40 carbon, they shows what the 62 trillion isomers. We can arrange in a different way and show the various what the lots of applicability from the structures. So another proceeding to that, what is organic molecules? Now you know that the organic molecules are nothing but the molecules which containing carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and what other, okay, elements, but except to metal atom. So such all these compounds are said to be what the organic molecules. Generally what organic molecules are soluble in insoluble in water, okay, they must contain what carbon. What is isomer? Now isomers are nothing but the same molecular formula, but they are not identical, they are structurally they are different, okay. Examples are given here. So we have a propyl chloride and propane, they are not isomer because their constitution of the elements are different. Propane and propene, they are also not the isomer, because again you see that the number of carbon and hydrogens are the hydrogens are different, so basically the composition is different. Third example is what we have propene and cyclohexane, they are again different. we have example is what the butane and what the isobutane. Yes, the butane and isobutane have same number of carbon, same number of hydrogen, but they are structurally different. That's why they are the isomers. Let's move to the classification of what isomers. Okay, the in organic chemistry, the various types of what the classifications are there, particularly for isomerism. Now this isomerism is broadly classified in two different ways. One is called structural isomerism and second is called what the stereo isomerism. What is the structural now? A structural isomerism, nothing but the connectivity of the atoms in the molecule are different. Everything is same molecular formula in both the cases, but the connectivity is what the different. In case of what stereoisomer, there is what the arrangement of the atoms in a molecule is different in a space. Okay, three-dimensional arrangement is quietly different. Particularly we have geometrical isomers, cis and trans, etc. Now structurally the isomerism is again further classified in chain isomerism, positional isomerism, functional isomerism, metamerism, tautomerism, and what the ring chain isomerism. Okay, this one. And the secondly, where stereoisomerisms are classified in two distinct ways: geometric isomerism and the optical isomerism. In geometric isomerism, so there is a difference in the spatial arrangement of the atoms is different along what the double bond, while optical isomers are nothing but arrangement of the atoms in a 3D space which create the mirror images of each other. Okay, the enantiomer, diaster, etc. And in this lecture, we will see up to the geometrical isomerism. Next, we have another chart which explains the broad classification of what isomerism. The isomers are classified as constitutional or structural and stereoisomers. Okay, as seen in the previous slide. Stereoisomers are again classified in two different ways. One is configurational and second is conformational. So in configurational, we have classified in two distinct ways. One is a geometrical, that across the double bond. Optical, they are like mirror images, and they are classified as enantiomer and distereoisomers. Okay, enantiomers are mirror images, just your left hand, right hand, while the distereoisomers are not. Okay, like this. And the second classification of stereoisomers is a conformational isomers. Okay, where the rotation of carbon-carbon bond is takes place. Okay, we have what cyclohexane, rotational cyclohexane molecules. Okay, axial, equatorial, etc., etc. So this is the broad classification of isomerism or isomers. Okay, let's see one by one. So what is structural isomers now? The structural isomerism, it is also called the constitutional isomer according to the IPAC, is a type of isomer in which a molecule with the same molecular formula, but have the bonding pattern is different. This is called what the structural isomerism. Okay, what is in that? This is also called constitutional isomerism according to the IPAC. They in which the molecular formula of that isomers are what the same, but the connectivity, that is a bonding pattern, is different. And examples we have taken so many different examples. We have what N-butane, isobutane. Okay, we have what 1-chloropropane, 2-chloropropane, ethanol and the dimethyl ether, methyl cyclopropane as well as the cyclobutane, and acetone and its enolic form. So basically these are the 5 simple examples from 5 different category. So in 5 example, what is common thing in that? So each and every pair have what the same molecular formula, but their arrangement is what the different. That's why they are belongs to the structural isomerism, or they are belong to the constitutional isomers. Okay, first the type of what structural isomerism is a chain isomerism. Okay, so chain isomerism is also called skeletal isomerism. In this, the usually what is the main thing in that? The carbon atom are linked to the main chain in a different way. Okay, so the skeletal pattern is a different, everything is what the same. Okay, and basically what we can say that, for example, one molecule have 5 carbon, we can arrange 5 carbon in a straight way, and second molecule have same 5 carbon but 4 in a what the straight way, and one is at the some one way branched. So basically what we can say that, so there is a arrangement at the what the some substituents get changed now. Okay, so basically, so this is the carbon order is a different, everything is same. So example is pentane, which is exist in 3 different isomeric form. One is N-pentane, second is isopentane, third is a neopentane. Okay, so N-pentane is simply referred as what? Pentane. Isopentane is referred as 2-methylbutane, and the neopentane is referred as dimethyl propane, 2,2 dimethyl propane. Now see that in three structures, in three type of a molecule, a molecular formula is the same, but what they are structurally different. And as I explained that these are the three different examples from what the pentane. So this type of what isomerism is belong to what the chain isomerism, where the carbon atoms are linked to the main chain in a different way. Okay, this is what the simple isomerism. Second classification of the structural isomerism is what the positional isomerism. What is called positional or position isomerism. So you know that position means what, the region particulars, and based on that we have another terminology. Okay, so first of all, in positional isomerism, or it is also called the regio isomerism. What is regio? Regio and position particularly they are common words, right? So these are a functional, basically what, in a positional isomerism they are also called the regio isomerism, a functional group or what the both substituent get or the substituents changes the position on a parent structure. So simply what we can conclude that, for example, we have at OH. Okay, for some time OH at the first carbon, sometime OH at the second carbon, sometime OH at the third carbon. Okay, so basically a functional group cannot be changed here, just the position of the functional group what they vary or they may be changed in a molecule. Okay, the functional groups are attached on the different position on a carbon. Okay, so the red the sentence indicate it's what the summary of that position isomerism. The functional groups are attached onto the what the different position on a carbon skeleton, right? So many aromatic compound also show this type of what isomerism. For example, xylene, dihydroxy benzene, trihydroxybenzene, etc., etc. There are what lots of the compound which show this type of what isomers. Okay, everything is same, functional group cannot be changed here. Okay, so look at this example here. So the 1 2 3 4 5 C5 is given, 3 2 then etc. something structure is given now. Okay, we have what the pentanol, n pentanol. Okay, then 1 pentanol, 2 pentanol and 3 pentanol. In this case the position of what hydroxy group it changes on the carbon skeleton, remaining everything part what the same. This is called what the position isomerism. Now the third type of structural isomerism is called what the functional isomerism. So what is functional isomerism now? So the functional isomers are structural isomers that have the same molecular formula, but the atom are connected in a different ways so that the groupings are dissimilar, right? So in a what green zone we can or green line we can mention that. So these groups of atoms are called functional groups. Basically a functional group is nothing but then it is due to what the heteroatom present in that. So for a two molecule is said to be the functional isomer, they must have what the same number of what atom. Okay, what are the carbon, what are the oxygen, etc., etc. Okay, and what that they cannot have the same functional group, they must be have what the different functional group. And if the functionality, that is functional group, stay at the same, okay, but their location is a change, that is called the structural isomer. Okay, so basically in previous slide we can move to the previous slide first. So in the previous slide you can explain that the position of what the functional group is what they vary, everything is same, position is what the changes and functional group is what remain constant. But in functional isomerism, okay, along with the position we are also change what the functional group. Okay, and the best example is what the C2H6O, and the first example from that is an what the CH3CH2S ethanol is an position is an what the functional isomer with what the dimethyl ether. So basically these two example are the one of the famous example of functional group isomerism, where the functional group it changes with respect to what the carbon skeleton. And another example is what the cyclohexane and what the cyclohexane and hexene, one hexene. So in both the cases what we have seen the another example from that cyclohexane and what the hexene, the both are what the different. The molecular formula is same but they are structurally different. Okay, basically these are the isomers of that. Moving to the fourth type of what structural isomerism is a metamerism. It's a very rare examples for metamerism, particularly for that. So is a type of what structural isomerism in which what the different alkyl groups are attached to the same functional group, and this type of what the functionality is very limited particularly, and generally which is limited to what the molecule having what the heteroatoms, like we have what oxygen, we have what the sulfur, etc., etc., like that. Okay, for that we can use this type of for the isomerism, and examples are given here. So 2-methoxypropane and what the ethoxyethane, and these are the example particularly for that. Now the fifth example is called the tautomerism. This tautomerism is particularly for the enolic system or have acidic hydrogen. Isomerism is due to the spontaneous interconversion of two isomeric form with a different functional group. Again, functional group it changes, but this is a very spontaneous process. Okay, and at the left side of the slide, okay, we are include that this is an acetone which is present in the 99%, okay, which is highly stable. The hydrogen is migrated toward what and the bond will be shifted toward the oxygen, and bond will be basically hydrogen is moved toward the oxygen and the bond will be open toward the carbon. So and there is a formation of what the enol, okay, in plus all, and which is only stable at the 5%. So ketonic form is more stable than what the enolic form, but they are isomers. Another example is what the this is 1,3-diketone, okay, sorry, 2,1,2,3,4. It's a 2,4-diketone. Again it also isomerized, okay, and you get this type of the structure. So this is the enol form. So basically this keto-enol form is a very common process in particularly this ketonic compounds, okay, and generally keto forms are more stable. But one exception is given now, phenol. You know that the aromatic alcohol, aromatic hydroxy compound, okay. So where the enolic form is 100% stable. So in generally aliphatic system I have what the 99%, or you can call the 95% ketone form is more stable, but the enol generally are unstable, but the exception is what the phenol. Okay, so then moving to the second part of the isomerism, that is called the stereoisomerism. Stereoisomerism are nothing but a spatial isomerism because there is a arrangement in a space, right? This type of an isomer in which molecule have the same formula, molecular formula, and a sequence of the bonded atom, that is a constituents, okay, and the differ in their or the three-dimensional orientation in the space now. So basically the molecular formula is same, everything is same, connectivity also is the same, but there is what the three-dimensional arrangement particularly of their atoms in a space is different. Then these isomers at the right side of this slide we can explain the types of what the stereoisomers. Stereoisomerisms are classified in the two different forms. One is called the geometrical isomerism, and a second is called what the we can call optical isomerism. Okay, in geometrical isomerism we have two forms, that is cis and trans, while in case of what the optical isomerism we have enantiomers, distereoisomers, etc., etc. Let's move toward about the first type of the stereoisomerism, that is called geometrical isomerism. The geometrical isomerisms are they are also called the cis trans isomers, or they are called what the isomers result from what the restricted cyclic structure. They cannot be turned toward the cyclic form, okay, because double bonds have what the lateral type of what overlapping, so they flipped, they cannot be rotated like a single bond. So it is one of the difficult task in the double bond, okay, and the differ in their spatial arrangement about the double bond. Such type of what the isomers, okay, differ in their spatial arrangement about the double bond is called what the geometrical isomerism. Okay, here the two structures are mentioned here. One is called the cis and second is called the trans. So these are the two examples of the two isomers from the butene, okay, that is C4H8. What is cis now? The cis isomer has hydrogen which is a less priority group, you know that less the atomic number, okay, that will be the we have a less priority. So cis isomer has the hydrogen the less priority group on the same side of the double bond, okay. Basically the hydrogens or the smaller side of the smaller priority groups are present on the same side. In case of the trans isomer has the hydrogen which is less priority group present on the opposite side of the double bond. And if you look at this two structure now, this is the cis and trans, where you can simply say that a cis having what the two hydrogens or two smaller groups or two less priority groups present on the same side, but in case of the trans they are about the opposite, and these are called also be called the restricted rotation due to what the double bond, they cannot be rotated. So the geometrical isomerisms can be named as what the EZ, okay, and based on that we can nomenclate that EZ nomenclature. So first determine the relative priorities of the groups. First we have to identify the relative priority of the groups now. okay. And what is Z now? So Z priority are nothing but the what? The same side of the double bond, okay. Whenever the smaller groups or whenever similar atoms present on the same side of the double bond, they are called as Z. So according to that, Z is nothing but the zusammen, and the German word for that is called the togetherness. If for example has an E priority, so that is a group are on the opposite side of the double bond, that type of the isomers is called what? The E isomers, and E nothing but the antigen, and that is called, the German word for that is called the opposite. And these are the two example particularly where green and yellow which are present on the same side, while the second structure in which the one is green yellow and second is what? The yellow green. So likewise, so we can classify the cis trans isomer. Okay, so let's move toward another example for that. So you can which isomer is a cis and which isomer is a trans, particularly from that. So here we can first of all give the priority, select the one of the sp2 hybridized carbon. What are the rules are there? Select the sp2 hybridized carbon, there are only 2 carbons, okay. First of all select one of them, okay. Look at the 2 groups or 2 substituents attached to that, okay. Give the priority 1 or 2, basically based on the higher atomic number, okay. Higher the atomic number, that will be the higher priority, okay. So basically here look at the structure, chlorine and CH3 at the right side. So chlorine will be the first priority, methyl will be the second priority. Now move to the second side of the carbon, okay. Select the second sp2 hybridized carbon, see the groups or groups or substituents present on that. One is bromine, second is hydrogen. So bromine is what? The higher priority group, so higher priority substituent, so give the number is 1, and for hydrogen is what? The 2. So now look at this 1 1 and look at the 2 2. So if 1 and 1 on same side, they are called the cis or Z isomer. If and 1 and 1 is an opposite side, that's called what? The E isomer. So basically we can first decide what is, there are very simple rules are given now. So first of all select the sp2 hybridized carbon, look at the substituents or group, okay. Give the priority based on the atomic number, okay, and give the number 1 and 2. Then move toward the second sp2 hybridized carbon, again what? Decide the priority, give the number 1 and 2, and look the position of 1 and 2 now, okay, on both the same system. And finally you can based on that you can simply find out which one is Z, which one is what? E isomer. Now there are certain rules are given to decide E and Z nomenclature, where first of all the rule 1 is what? First of all select sp2 hybridized carbon and give the priority, okay. So 1 1 and 2 2. If 1 1 on same side, you get that called the Z. If on the opposite side, it's called what? The E isomer, okay. This is rule number 1. Secondly, sometime whenever if the atoms are attached to sp2 hybridized carbon, okay, they are same now, what will happen? Then we have moved toward the second issue, okay. So after that carbon, then carbon, we can move toward like that, okay. So basically, so we can increase the carbon chain now, particularly here, okay. So one group is later, then after that we have to move to second group. Rule number 3 is nothing but whenever the carbon double and triple bond is given, we have to apply the law of duplication. So we apply the law, that is duplication law, and based on that we can find out, okay. So if carbon is present, carbon double bond is present, then we have to apply the alternate duplication rule, right? And after that, so same element should be cancelled together, so remaining what are the elements are remain. So based on that we can decide the priority. So here are the last of the 2 example. And lastly we have the rule number 4, where the deuterium and hydrogens are present now. So you know that deuterium hydrogen have the same atomic number but the mass is different, so based on that we can differ, okay. So deuterium have more mass basically, so we have the more priority. So this is all about particularly the isomerism. So in this lecture we will stick to the isomers, structure isomer and what the stereoisomers. In that we are only see the part of the geometrical. We are not including this optical isomerism. For that we will convert toward the next lecture. So this is all about the isomerism, okay. If you satisfied with the content which I taken in this session, so subscribe our channel for more updates. Thank you.